Yes, pick it from there.
So I gave the guy who turned out to be XYZ an appointment, and he eventually came for the appointment.
Where was this appointment?
That was in my rural home at Rapugi.
Your rural home at Rapugi.
That's correct.
Which sub-county is that?
Uriri sub-county.
Uriri sub-county. Proceed.
So my lady, Rapogi, R-A-P-O-G-I. Yeah. So he had not disclosed. Prior to that, I had not known, but I was curious. I wanted to listen to it.
Yes, proceed. So they were ushered to the lounge. You will finish up your meeting.
Yeah, after clearing with the other guests, I joined them in the boardroom. And in the boardroom, my lady, I found when they were just talking very, very freely and amicably, the three of them, my wife, XYZ, and the late Mullah, they were just conversing. Apparently, XYZ had interviewed my wife on one of our projects. So they had known one another. And for Mullah, they were talking about some relatives, like some ladies from my wife's place who are married to Mullah's place. So they needed now no introduction because XYZ had been known to my wife. They knew one another. But Mullah, by the time I entered, they had done the introduction because they were talking of, that lady, yes, they had some shared relatives or friends.
Marriage, yes.
Yeah, so it was only me who now wanted the introduction. And we very quickly did it. Sharon's proposal for housing in Nairobi or in Kisumu were discussed, and I discouraged them, and Mullah also concurred with my view. So I asked Mullah to go and relay to her that it would be much more easier for her to be settled around Homa Bay, not in town but just around Homa Bay. I had given a proposal of buying land and building maybe a house of 3-bedroom house that would cost around 3 million.
So you've given a proposal of buying land in Homa Bay?
Yes, yes, your lady.
And building a 3-bedroom house for the rich.
That is true.
A proposal you said were in Nairobi or Kisumu, which you then discouraged and brought. Was that acceptable to Sharon in this back and forth?
Because it was being relayed to her, Mullah told me that she was not very, very comfortable with that. She wanted Nairobi or Kisumu, but he assured me that he was going to convince her to accept the rural proposal.
There is somewhere in your statement that I can read about some 50 by 100 in Homa Bay town. Is this shed light? Who's shed light on that?
My lady, even that 50 by 100 in town, I was not for it.
Whose proposal?
That was
buying a
Sharon's.
50 by 100.
That was Sharon's proposal.
To buy a 50 by 100 plot
in town.
Which town?
Homa Bay town. Yeah.
Then you build a house for her there.
Yeah. So my proposal was to buy an acre in the rural, but around town, because it would be cheaper, and then put for her a house in that rural, so that she could be staying in a home, not in town.
How about her health-related issues while pregnant for you? This is before her delivery. Was that ever discussed?
That one, my lady, was also discussed. I'd agreed that I would be channeling my assistance through Mola. And that was being done, even though we had terminated the relationship. But I was still assisting.
Mula told this court that you gave Sharon money to take out a medical cover in relation to that. Please confirm if that's true. Did you take out a medical cover for her yourself?
My lady, I gave money for doing that. I did not take the cover by myself, but I gave money for doing that.
On that you gave Sharon herself?
I gave Sharon and other assistants.
No, I'll come back to
that one.
the
I gave
assistance.
Sharon herself.
Yes. Outside this, before identifying the land and the building, I mean, she had to stay somewhere and she needed 3 meals in a day. Did you know anything about that? Was that any part of the discussion?
My lady, there was a proposal that was brought to me by Mo to move from my mother's house to a rental building or a rental house in town. As we await for the house that was to be constructed, that she had now accepted. And my lady, that assistance was coming through Mola, the one for looking for a rental house in Homa Bay town.
Was coming from who?
From me, of course.
From you to Sharon.
Yeah.